What's up, fellow humans? So, today, what I thought I'd do is talk about this idea of freedom. And freedom really is an idea that is of particular interest at the moment. I think in the world, as we're currently living it, freedom is a topic that has become increasingly significant. And to kind of unpack freedom, I wanted to read you this poem called Freedom, written by Rumi. So I'll just bring that up. So it's actually towards the end of the poem, and Rumi says, "I have destroyed my thoughts and burnt my worries. Something other has my attention. What need have I for a heart? Blood of the beloved is running through my veins. I am life itself." Wow, so it's a really beautiful poem there, and the beginning part of it is particularly significant. Well, the whole thing is significant, but we'll focus on the beginning to start with. He says, "I have destroyed my thoughts and burnt my worries." So freedom really is not really a place. It's not like we can go to the Himalayas and we'll be free there. Certain people certainly can go there and be free, but it's not necessarily that the place will make everyone free. It's somewhere you can probably escape to, and you might feel some relief, but you will never be truly free. So it's not a place. So what is it? And he indicates this. "I have destroyed my thoughts and burnt my worries." He starts to indicate that freedom is freedom from thought. That is true freedom. He says, "I've destroyed my thoughts and burnt my worries." So it's his thoughts, it's the absence of his thoughts and his worries that gives him true freedom. And I think this is really significant because that is the essence of meditation, is awareness and being able to destroy our thoughts and give ourselves ease from our worries, reducing stress. And when we are able to reduce stress, then we're able to live in more harmony, and we are free from our thoughts. And really, freedom is freedom from thoughts, freedom from the mind, freedom from obsessive thinking, compulsive thinking, which kind of completely overwhelms our life processes, really. We can't escape this mind. Everywhere we go, it's on, and we don't seem to have control over it. So for me, freedom really, and what Rumi was talking about, freedom really signifies being able to manage thoughts and mind, having a systemized process of being able to deal with that. He then moves on and says, "Something other has my attention." So his attention has moved from this thoughts and worries to perhaps an awareness of what's going on in his mind, and awareness of the present moment, and I'd imagine a deep spirituality and connection to all things, and and when there is that absence of thoughts, there is often kind of an awakening, kind of that all things are connected, and there's no difference between us and other pieces of like a table or an animal. It's very linked in with the Native American and Indigenous Australians who kind of talk about this idea that the snakes, the lizards, the land is all their friends. They don't see much distinction or any distinction between themselves and a broader sense of the land, the lizards, the snakes, the animals, and the universe. And so there's that kind of spiritual connection to nature and the world around them. And that, I think, is what Rumi was referring to. Something other has my attention, something far deeper, or something deeper of a spirituality and a connection and a sense of presence and well-being has kind of imbued his life, so that that now has his attention, and that awareness makes life completely different. That starting of an awakening process really starts to open up your eyes, and you experience life differently. You start to see things more, be more perceptive, and everything starts to have more of a richness and colour and flavour about it. And I can see that in my mindfulness practice when I'm able to be really truly present in a nature setting, or any sort of setting for that matter. When you have that attention in the present moment, if you're able to dwell in that space and make that your home, then that is true freedom. He says, blood of the beloved is running through my veins. So he feels that the blood flowing through his veins is from the beloved. So in essence, he's kind of saying that his connection to the universe and that's what is seen in a materialistic sense to be outside of him is actually within him, and it's one and all the same. Is what's within him is also outside of him. It's all the same essence that's within him is everywhere to be seen in the universe. It's made of all the same stuff, and that's his spiritual connection. And he ends with, I am life itself. And at this point he's kind of unified with life. He is an embodiment of life. And in a sense we're all these little beings in the world who personify life. Life flows through us. And we flow through life. So there's a kind of connection there of flow, really. When you are life itself, you're not affected, you're not in duality, and you're not affected by this, I am separate from my mind. It really is yourself and life as a oneness. And it's a beautiful place to dwell. And yeah, I've resonated with that as part of a meditation practice. I really start to feel when you're able to silence the mind, or the spaces in between thoughts, is where you really get a sense that of connection, that you are actually life. And yes, and also during other experiences, kind of awakening experiences, where you're able to switch off your mind, or your mind switches off for you for a certain period of time. The thoughts aren't there to tell you or to analyze everything, and you feel for that period of time, at least anyway, that you are there's no differential between you and the experience of life. You are the experience, because there's no thought processes getting in the way and judging it. I had that in an airport on my travels, where my brain just switched off for several minutes, and I was kind of in awe of, just having that kind of peace and tranquility for several minutes before my mind kind of switched back in. And this was kind of an ancient way of living, really, that the Native Americans and Indigenous Australians and people in the Buddhist traditions and the mystics of the world, they would live a heightened perception of experience. The world that they would see would be very different to what we would see. As their ego was kind of reduced, they were able to get a much richer and deeper experience of everyday situations. And in that way, their life was able to be more fulfilling. So freedom really is not a place you go. It really is, especially in these times, freedom from the mind. And you could also extend that to freedom from society, freedom from norms, not caring about what other people think is a form of freedom. Not being swayed by the media. But in a sense, that's all things that occur in your mind. So the media kind of influences your mind. So if you are able to take back control over your mind, then that is true freedom. That's all for now. Thank you. Peace.